and make up the difference in property taxes.
That makes some sense.
That's off the record.
Oh yeah, I'm not talking to you on the record right now. We're gonna have a conversation.
Yeah, so I'll let you know.
I didn't know
Just like
that.
this second. I just pressed the button.
I was just saying I am about to turn my recorder on, but nobody hears the thing.
Now, see, if you did that, it would be a good faith effort for people, you know.
Yeah. I don't think if people, I think if people knew the severity of it, knew how, we're at the point of cutting your fire department or paying or giving you tax increase, they're going to say, I'd rather have a tax increase than I would lose my fire department.
Wishful thinking.
Well, that's Rogersville.
We've got some folks that need to be somewhere else.
May have to throw something at him, Rick.
Anyway, let me get your attention. We'll get started. Finish your lunch and don't hesitate to come back for some more when you get through. I want to welcome some folks here today. Tessa Worley with Kingsport Times News. We're glad to have you with us. And a new friend that we found, Allison Goody with the Rogersville Review. And after a conversation with her over an article, we found out we've got a lot of common friends and ancestry that go back a long ways in Hawkins County.
And she's prettier than Jeff.
A lot better temperament and all.
That's perfect.
Allison called me concerning the 75th anniversary of the Kiwanis Club in Rogersville. Some of you all read the article. She really did a good job, I thought, about the demise of the Kiwanis Club after 75 years in Rogersville. We've got Kenny Smith with the UT, Charles Johnson with the TCAT. Got a motion, I got a second, somewhere, I got a second bill. All in favor of accepting those as mail, say aye. Aye. Any opposed, like sign? Okay, Rebecca, the report secretary first.
Beginning balance on May 26th was $19,884.25. We had two deposits, one from TDA and one for the state of Tennessee for the lot 17. We've got the two checks, 2719 and 2720, that was written to Madam for those two deposits, and then 2721 was for 2686 for visa activity, giving us a balance today of $19,457.39. Make a notation on the CD at the bottom. I did receive the statement after I had printed this, so I didn't go back and change it for you all, but if you'll just make a notation. The CD, this bank's name now is called Fred, not Citus Bank. It's P-H-R-E-A-D, Fred. And the balance is $6,312.26. It was renewed on 5/15/2022 at 0.28% interest.
Do anyone have any questions of Rebecca concerning the financial report? I have a motion that we accept these for our records. So we've got a motion, I've got a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, like sign? Hearing none, ayes. Don't really have any committee mentioned that they were still waiting the right of way to be signed by Cooper Standard. And my understanding is that that has been signed now. And so we're awaiting the final work to get started on that and hopefully get completed in a short period of time. That, for the benefit of those who may not know, is we were able to get some grant money to do a lot of the updates there on the water system inside Phipps Bend. Put some valves and some loop system in, so if you had a water line break that we could keep the rest of the industries or have a different feed into it and keep them running. So now with that, and that's been quite a task, is getting right of way signed because of the change of ownership of those plants through the years. So, but my understanding is all that is completed. You got water on that. Is that what it is? Okay. We are awaiting, I guess, the state and one of our projects to be announced. Maybe Lonnie or Lynn will say something about that as we get down through there. I'll call on them. Let me tell you a sad note that I'm sure all of you know is one of our longtime serving members passed away this past week, and I was able to go by on Friday and visit with the family, and that's Tom Young. He's been a member, I guess, as long as I have, and he was he's the vice chairman also, and has really been a very supportive member and very, and I was telling his family, he really did a lot for this community, moving in here from Newport years ago, and he's been active in Rotary, he's active in the Presbyterian Church, he's active in all kinds of civic affairs here, and we're sure gonna miss Tom going forward. With that being said, a normal procedure for replacing a board member is to submit to Rebecca over the next 30 days who you might recommend and submit to her a resume. And as soon as she gets them, she will mail them or email them out to the various board members to be thinking about. And then at our next call meeting, we'll vote on recommending to the industrial committee of the county commission who our recommendation is. Is there any questions about that at all?
The term for this one to replace Tom Young will end on December 2024.
So it'd be for a little over 2 years. So keep that in mind. Just to give you a little idea of what's going on this month, and most of it this month, we were invited to Cardinal Glass for the flag raising. You know, they had quite an event up there. We met the new general manager of Cardinal Glass, which is Sean Banner. Now, he has quite a background, going all the way back to his days with American Float Glass, and then Hubbard bought out the glass plant here locally. One of our former board members, longtime board members, Danny Cochran and Sean Banner, go back all the way into those days. And so we had a really good visit with him. Then he asked for a luncheon meeting, and so a group of us from Hawkins County went up and sense the change that's going on up there, and it is good. The employees I think are all pleased with the effort that's being put into it, the millions upon millions of dollars that's being spent to upgrade that plant, clean the plant up. One thing that Cardinal does is they want a very clean plant. So they're going through and buying, I don't know, thousands of gallons of paint, cleaning it, painting it. You know, the glass making process hasn't changed much through the years other than when they had a shutdown and rebuild the two lines up there. But just the cleanliness and everything is gonna be good. He was telling us they're building a cafeteria for the employees, where they can go in and actually have a sit-down meal. We were just totally pleased with everything we've seen and everything that we've heard from talking with employees about what's going on at Carter. We are working with them to try, with the help of the First Utility, to get water to them. We're also facilitating meetings with Cardinal and the city of Churchill to facilitate possibly hooking up sewer. And so there's a lot going on with Cardinal Glass, and I would have to say most of it's been very positive. And the state, you know, we talked about before, is rebuilding the railroad bridge across going and the road going into Cardinal, and hopefully the road is one of the most heavily traveled roads in the county. And I know, you know, we'd love to see the county pave the road, but possibly we'll put the push on after they get the railroad bridge completed and all of the utility work done there. So just to give you an update on that, and like I say, we have been involved. We had a really good visit up at the TCAT Center with the Chancellor of the Board of Regents. Her name is Hawkins. She is over all. She looks over all of the institutions of higher learning in the state of Tennessee, except the University of Tennessee. And that takes in a lot of territory. East Tennessee State, Middle Tennessee State, all of the TCAT across the state. Chancellor Hawkins with it, and she was up here, and we were able to visit with her and two of her key staff about upgrades there at the TCAT Center. Also talking about the new truck school and when they might be implementing it. So Charles, I was in on the visit, so it was a very, very good meeting with her. It's always good to get somebody of that high level to come into your site and look at everything. And she was very impressed with East Tennessee in general. So we did have a good meeting there. I met with the new director of the Holston Business Development Center, Liz Bennett. She's now there on site every day and seems to be doing a great job. Got some good ideas. I know she's been coming to some of the chamber meetings here locally, and some of us that serve on that board are looking forward to, you know, seeing that business incubator flourish again, hopefully. A couple of other items that I guess we'll want to talk about is at the Holston Army Ammunition Plant, the BAE took over after the many years of Eastman running it. They made some land available outside the fence. so to speak. You know, heightened security of hosting ordinance, as we always call it, is unbelievable. But they felt like they needed to move everything back further against the mountainside, and I forget, it's about 10,000 acres they got in there. It's something all. 6,000, it's way up in 1,000 acres. And they control everything from every direction, even on the river. But they make some property available there, and that's where HVDC is located. But the other day they announced that they were going to open up 160 acres to the west of the plant on 11W there, and make it available for development. And so the city of Kingsport looked at that and their industrial board, and they paid to have an initial evaluation done, and what's involved with all that. But to do a full-blown study of what it's going to take to develop that site, they're thinking that the cost would come in around $40,000. So they're going to be talking to Hawkins County about maybe joining in with them on this. This would not put the 160 acres back on the rolls, the tax rolls, but it would put all the personal property, anything that's developed there, back on the tax, or put it on the tax roll. Plus it would provide jobs. So that's been an ongoing talk. This started back when the Army wanted whoever they chose to take over for Eastman to develop that and get some revenue for the Army out of some of that property. And if you recall, BAE went out and some of the I remember Mr. Alcott that was eventually became president of BAE was here, and we actually had the Lowe's that is in West Stone Drive initially was going to be built in Hawkins County on this particular acreage. And then 9/11 came along and the world changed, and they said, well, we're going to feel like we can open up right now. So all of that went by the wayside, but now they're opening back up for maybe not retail, but something. And so we're in negotiations with them, and hopefully we'll see how that goes. If they can raise the money and get a partnership together with Kingsport and Hawkins County. That's about all I can think of that I have. I'll go around the room and call on people to kind of give us an update, and I'll start with the ladies in the room. Lynn, how's the state doing? I know you've got a new boss, so tell us about that.
I will have very soon. So, recently announced that Commissioner Rolfe will be stepping down, heading back into the private sector, and he will be replaced by Stuart McWhorter, whom you all may remember from on the COVID response. He was in charge of that, as well as quite a few other things. I think he's serving currently as a deputy to the governor, or deputy governor. And so he'll be our new commissioner for ECD for the foreseeable future. That will happen July 11th, is what I understand. And then, a little more locally, we do hope that we'll get him over here fairly soon for this announcement. I can't promise anything, but we want him here early in his tenure. We want him here often. So we're going to do our best to do that. We are waiting on our company to give us the go-ahead for releasing that announcement. So just stay tuned. That's all that we're waiting on now. So.
Well, if you could pull both those off, get the commissioner and get this thing announced, we'll be happy.
I'll get an extra brownie that day.
Yeah, load up, we'll give you the whole bag.
How many did you take today?
Well, that's great. I know, maybe we'll hear more from Networks. There's some other projects that we're working for. But we appreciate you coming by. And like I say, I've not met Mr. McWhorter. I just wonder, you know, one of my, I guess, Ned Ray McWhorter did more, in my opinion, for Hawkins County than any governor we've ever had. He's just an amazing person, and he was the one that helped us get Phipps Bend, and he's just had a dynamic personality, just a wonderful fella, and he took a liking, I know, to Ronnie, and whisked him off the West Tennessee for several years, so.
Yeah, you had a lot of interesting stories to tell.
He was a good man. One of the best stories, we announced the big industry up in northeast Tennessee, and our friend and former board member here, Big Jim Anderson, was there, and the governor, Jim was of such size that he couldn't go to Parks Belk and buy a suit. He had to have a special made suit, but the governor came up to me after this big announcement and said, I noticed that Jim, you know, might need a new suit of clothes. And I said, you know, I don't know. He said, well, I'll tell you what, said, you take him and buy a new suit of clothes and send me the bill. And so we went to Men of Measure at Johnson City, bought him a really nice suit and shirts and tie, and sent Governor Ned Ray McWhorter the bill. So that's another one of my stories that goes back a long time. I'm just wondering if I know he was a Democrat. I'm assuming Stuart McWhorter must be a Republican.
His name is McWhorter.
Oh, okay, so it's not
Yeah,
even
it's
the
not the-
same.
No, it's
They're not
McWhorter.
Oh, okay.
But he's evidently done really well business-wise and everything.
Oh, okay.
His background, I think, is venture capital, so he knows how to start businesses and hopefully how to keep them going, so. yeah.
Sounds great. Kenny, what's going on with the university?
A few things. Last month, we had our Career Quest event that I talked about in prior meetings. The Hawkins County schools participated. Brandon was there. Cooper Standard is always faithful to participate. And we also got Dodge to come and participate for the first time, so glad to have them. We'd love to have more Hawkins County manufacturers. We recently held a supplier event for Van Hool, the bus manufacturer, coming to Morristown, and I'm going to meet with their one employee early next month, and we're gonna meet at the site, which is the Greenfield right now, but and talk about helping them line up suppliers and so forth, and so you know, I'll be introducing them to any Hawkins County companies that can help them out. And then we're starting a new project. UT, the Center for Industrial Services, paid over $100,000 for a program called Connex. It's spelled Connex, but they call it Connex. And that's like a business-to-business website, database, and so businesses can sign up if they want to. If they want to get their name out to more manufacturers, they can sign up, put down what their capabilities are and so forth. And then if you've got manufacturers looking for suppliers, they can sign up, and you put in certain NAICS codes or keywords what you're looking for, and it'll show you all the suppliers in the state that could potentially make whatever you're looking for. So we're proud of that, and it's gonna be free to manufacturers, and they can also get nationwide access. So I'll be meeting with our local manufacturers to tell them about that and get them signed up.
What is that website again?
Well, it's spelled Connex, CONNEX, and there's a link to it on our website. And I'll share that with you, Lynn.
Super, thank you.
Then we're gonna have a Zoom conference for King about this, we can invite you to.
That would be great.
That's all I've got, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
That sounds exciting. You know, they announced that bus manufacturing how many years ago, so they've not even started the groundbreaking yet.
Well, I'm not sure exactly how much has been done. I understand it's just a field, but I'll find out more. They plan to be producing in 2025, so they're on the same schedule as Ford.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but they've got big plans, and I think they initially want to produce 400 buses a year. That's their initial target, but they've got plans for clean buses, so hydrogen and hybrid and electric also.
Really? Well, just keep us updated on all that. That'd be great. Charles Johnson with the TCAP, you got anything?
Well, it'll be good to talk about something substantial with truck driving now, instead of, just kind of like speculation. I appreciate all the work that Gary Hicks did with that. That was one of the things that segued the chancellor coming to our campus. Now, best I could tell, that's the only time that the chancellor has been to our campus at Morristown or any of them. That's what I was told. And Susie's been around since the early 90s, so she probably would know. So I wasn't particularly excited about that. So what are we doing with truck driving now that we know that we're going to have the class? Many of us, myself included, are working on getting with the Department of Safety, Tennessee DOT, that type of stuff. There's a lot of things that we have to deal with them. We're going to look at programs that are close to us in Knoxville and Crossville, just to see, if there's things that we can pick up on. I told Mr. Jackson earlier this week that we want to do the program right when we start it. So we're working on that. There are personnel at the school that are looking at equipment. We're probably thinking, that we will probably have a couple of trucks in that program to begin with. Of course, the interest has not ever went away, so it is an interesting program. And we just want to make sure that when we start the program, and I'm not going to nail down a date either, just like Mr. Hicks wasn't, but when we start the program, we want to make sure that it's top-notch and it's ready to go. So we'll be looking for instructors, things of that nature, as we move forward with it as well. Very excited about that. I think that's going to be, not only is it going to be good for this area, our county, our school, but this area, this region. And I think, honestly, just maybe tongue-in-cheek, just the advertising that we're going to get from having those trucks on the road with their logo on it, it's going to be great. So I'm looking forward to that. The cosmetology class, which has not been as talked about, it's ready to go. We're going to start that in September. It's a full class already. There's a lot of interest in that. And when you start looking at the money that can be made by people that go into that field, to me, it blows my mind, which I know what my wife pays, but, I don't have to worry about that myself. But, I'm excited about that. And we got the equipment this week. It's in place. The class will be starting in September. Like I said, we've already got a full class. I'm tickled to death with that. And then, and you sat through the meeting with the chancellor. They talked about some exciting things in that area up there, regardless of which way that goes. And we don't know for sure yet, but hopefully that'll end up being good for everybody involved.
I appreciate that. That's, like I say, it was an exciting meeting, just knowing, the chance
It's more of the same from us, so we've been talking about machine tool program in Cherokee being implemented. We're finally at the go point there. We have an instructor in place, and several of you in the room may actually know the fellow. His name's Greg Williams. He brings a tremendous amount of experience to the position, to a career with TRW and TVA, several companies in various positions, either as a machinist or quality engineer. He's a perfect fit for that role, and I think that program is going to be a success very early on. But it's ready to kick off in August when we get back to school, and that's another dual enrollment partnership we have with TCAT, and TCAT is footing the bill for the equipment for that startup through GIVE grant. So good stuff happening between the two systems for sure. Right now we are still working on securing funds for the CTE facility we proposed. At present, we're working on trying to secure investment from the private sector, and you know, I can't say that we have any firm commitments right now, but we do have some very promising prospects at this point. And the only other thing I'd mention is we've had some good meetings over the last couple of days, and I believe as early as spring of next year we're going to be expanding, pretty rapidly expanding robotics programs within our middle and high schools. So pretty good stuff going on. Just we've got a full plate as usual.
Brandon, thank you. Brandon does a great job with the board, and I know we're excited with him. The key to bringing industry in addition to taxes, is having an available workforce, and how that available workforce that knows what to do and how to do it. Education is key to all of that. So that's the reason we work so closely with the board at TCAT, and you know, try to have people available and ready to go to work. And that's a difficult thing right now in the economy the way it is. We're pleased today to have Clay Walker with us from Networks.
He's on work release.
Okay. Give us an update from Networks, where we're at, and what's going on.
I'll start, then I'll turn over to Ronnie. Your point about Van Huel, how long ago that was announced. They had a suppliers meeting previously upon announcement, and we set them up for them to meet with RCM.
Oh.
Remember RCM?
Oh, good, very good.
So,
it does go back a day.
Yeah, so it goes back a minute. We were very pleased to have Commissioner Rolfe. Has he been to another announcement since then, Lynn?
I don't think so.
We may be his last announcement that he attends, and then hopefully Commissioner McWhorter's first announcement we can get. But announcing a really unique project for Kingsport and Bristol. I say project, they were projects, but it happened to be the same company. And this company knows Tri-Cities very well because they're in Johnson City. That was ACT, Advanced Call Centers, putting in 350 jobs in Kingsport and 300 jobs in Bristol. And these are going to be well above the average for that industry sector. They reach unique in projects in very different ways. But the one in Bristol is really cool because the same consultant, site consultant, who attended our very first red carpet tour, Susan Aldridge, she's with another firm now, but she brought us a Gero that landed in Bristol, 600 jobs. Because of COVID, a Gero started working from home. And then a contact from another consultant I knew had worked with Gero on something else called and asked if Gero was going to leave their people at home. I said I didn't know about it. So we checked and they were, which was good because Susan Arledge had sent us a request for information that building would have been perfect for, but a Gero had it. So we were able, the people at Ajero still work for Ajero. They're just working out of home. And so with the same consultant we did that project, we did with ACT to go there. So it was really cool. And she got to know our area by being at a red carpet tour, which we are working on now, and we believe with different companies, of course, do different things. Most of the consultants we talk to are back to doing familiarization tours like this. And so we hope we have a good turnout with consultants. Susan Arwich, of course, was the first one we invited. She wanted to come and then found out that she can't because of a conflict. But we have one that's already accepted. So anyway, we've been working hard on that. We've been meeting with representatives of the hub. We did earlier this week, and we formed a committee to meet with the hub next week, and I'll be at that meeting. Just trying to gather information to see what the specifics are, how they'd like for things to go. And so we're just gathering more information at this point. But we've been very, very busy with the projects. You know, one project we're trying to get finalized for Phipps Bend, and there's just a lot of projects floating around, both Sullivan and Hawkins counties, and it's good to have all that activity, and then dealing with some really unique workforce development projects that we gotten from a grant from the state to roll out a web-based program that we're referring to as the portal. It's going to start out, because of the terms of the grant, as a Sullivan County project, but we hope within a year to start scaling that to make it a resource for the entire region, anybody who wants to be a part of it. And we're also taking industries down to Fort Campbell to help them recruit companies, and we have one company that's already made 5 offers to people coming out of Fort Campbell. Made 5 people offers for jobs. So we're trying to help. To your point, workforce development and workforce availability is a whole different game, and so we're just trying to be at the forefront of helping our companies with that. Do you have more to add, Mr. President?
Just still working with that one supplier with companies taking the spec building.
You mean satellite?
Satellite, yeah. And of course, he got frustrated over trying to get that one building and everything. And the other thing is, Jerry Fortner, CNC Millwright, he's bought the Whitson building. I talked to him yesterday. So it's 112,000 square feet. And he might have some ideas about some things, spec building wise and everything up there. We need to talk about some of them. But we're just waiting for Lynn to announce the project.
Yeah, Lynn, everybody's looking for Lynn. That's good. Clay mentioned the hub, and you need to stay tuned, I guess, in news media and stuff about what goes on that. I'm going to be attending that meeting, I guess, next week also with Clay and with.
No, I won't be at that meeting.
Okay, you're not at the 30th meeting. We're trying to figure out exactly what's, I guess, the purpose of the group is, but hopefully it'll help economic development in East Tennessee, and we'll just see how it goes. But I've been invited to that, I guess. Today is the 30th. Next Thursday, 1 week from today, I'll be hopefully attending that meeting.
I think one other thing, people need to realize what a big deal carbon glass is, and it's going to be for Hawkins County and the ski sport and the whole area.
Yeah.
They're really a very impressive group.
It's unbelievable. Like I say, I know some folks in this room attended with us, and we were quite impressed with what they're rolling out, and you know, totally American owned, and I think got 40 different facilities nationwide, and like I say, a lot of the same people it started out with Hubbard or with the old American Float Glass Company, on the back with a cardinal on the cap instead of a side glass. So we're excited about that for them. The only other thing I've got, I would ask, Mark, you or, Jeff, have anything, commission, where we at on budget?
I was at the budget hearings yesterday, and the requested amount that you all had for the maintenance person made it through to the third cut, the third draft of the budget. It's going to be plus or minus what you asked for, depending on where that position lands on the salary scale and benefits and things like that, and what insurance plan they may opt to take and things like that. But it's moving forward. Just
Good news, right? I didn't even mention that. Jeff, anything?
I just appreciate the invitation. It's always good to,
Anytime.
always good to be here.
Like I say, right now, if you've been in the park, you've noticed that we needed some mowing. The guy that we got mowing part-time is working 16-hour shifts.
He's working 6 days a week right now.
6 days a week, so we're looking at possibly contracting that out. And then, we don't have any money for contracting, but we got money in part-time help, so I guess it would take a budget adjustment or something, but, it's just very difficult right now.
Not only the mowing and the trash pickup, but there's maintenance on the equipment, and there's just a lot that goes on up there with the guy that tries to do it, so.
And we've just not been able to find anybody to do part-time work. It's just not there. Bill can do, he can help out a little.
yeah. Get out there, Bill. Crank that mower.
He did go back to the doctor this past week, and he still got infection in his right lung from COVID.
Yeah.
He had a really bad case of COVID several months ago, and he's still fighting it.
There's still a lot of COVID around, right now, especially in Rogersville, so be careful. The only other thing I'll announce is that tomorrow evening, the Rogersville Hawkins County Chamber of Commerce, annual dinner is gonna be held at the American Legion. And we've got a couple of extra tickets here, if anybody would like to go. It's always a very enjoyable time, and, food's always good, and entertainment, and we have a silent auction, and it's a lot of fun. So if you're interested in going, see Rebecca after the meeting.
Casual dress this year, it's Margaritaville.
Wear your flowered shirt, and Tommy Bahama stuff, fit right in, flip-flops. Anybody else have anything good on Hawkins County? Yes,
I've got a question for Charles. When we had the truck driving school there many years ago, we had some folks step up, I think down here at the sand mine, and they donated a truck that they reconditioned and put in good condition from use several years. I'm just wondering if the 5 or 6 places that trucks are, I guess, dispatched from around Cardinal Glass and along 11W have offered to step up with any contributions, financial or equipment or anything like that.
Not to me. There's actually somebody in Morristown that's handling that part of it. So
Okay.
that's a possibility, but not with me, no.
Okay.
No. I'm kind of looking more at the curriculum part of it, the safety part of it, the setup part of it on the side of there,
Okay.
all of that.
I thought that might be a benefit if somebody was able to
Yeah.
manage those contacts and
Yeah.
maybe get a little help.
Well, I'll pass that along if it's not
Okay.
being done already.
Yeah, it was done before, so I just
Yeah.
thought it might be an opportunity.
Yeah.
anyone else have anything?
Remember Otis?
That's why I was getting ready to say, I'd be remiss if I didn't say something about Otis, who's one of the longest serving members. He is in Vanderbilt Hospital. It wasn't open heart per se. They went through his rib cage, but replaced 2 valves in his heart. And I speak with the family every day. And he came through the surgery, 10-hour surgery, took 10 units of blood. He came through it remarkably well, but he, you know, at 80 years old, having that kind of surgery for that length of time, he's gonna be down for a while. I spoke with them, and they said that probably, you know, another week or 2 in Vanderbilt, and then they're looking at a rehab center here locally, for a couple of weeks. So, be mindful of him in your prayers and the family and everybody. Like I say, so far, he's been through very well, and I hope he'll be in that. And, anybody else have anything? If not, have a good summer, enjoy it, and we'll get back with you hopefully next month, and as soon as, Lynn gets everything taken care of,
No pressure.
First ones to know.
No pressure.
Gary, you're the next officer to do it.
Do what?
Adjourn us.
yeah, somebody's got to adjourn.
Maybe Gary, he's always been.
Gary.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.